Ladies and gentlemen, self-talk is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, forces in shaping our reality. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we engage in a constant dialogue with ourselves. This internal conversation shapes the way we see the world, the way we see ourselves, and ultimately, the way we act in the world. It influences our decisions, our confidence, and even our outcomes. In fact, the way you talk to yourself may be the single most important factor in determining the quality of your life. At its core, self-talk is simply the language we use to interpret and react to our experiences. It's the voice inside your head that narrates your day, evaluates your actions, and judges your worth. This voice is often influenced by past experiences, social conditioning, and the feedback we've received from others. Over time, it becomes habitual, so much so that we don't even notice it running in the background. But whether we're aware of it or not, this internal dialogue is constantly shaping our beliefs, our emotions, and our behaviors. When you think about it, your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. If you tell yourself that you are not good enough, that you will never succeed, or that things will never work out for you, those thoughts will trigger feelings of doubt, fear, and helplessness. In turn, these negative emotions will influence the actions you take or don't take. You might procrastinate, avoid challenges, or even give up before you've truly given yourself a chance. This cycle becomes self-reinforcing. The more you tell yourself you can, the less likely you are to take the necessary steps to prove yourself wrong. On the other hand, when you practice positive self-talk, when you consistently tell yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy of success, and that you can handle whatever challenges come your way, something remarkable happens. Positive thoughts create positive emotions, confidence, excitement, optimism, and these feelings propel you to take action. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems. And because you take action with confidence, you start to experience better outcomes, which in turn reinforce your positive self-talk. This creates a feedback loop where your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. The idea that self-talk can determine your reality is not just a feel-good philosophy. It's rooted in science. Research in psychology has shown that our beliefs about ourselves directly affect our performance. This phenomenon is known as the self-fulfilling prophecy. Essentially, when you believe something to be true about yourself, you unconsciously act in ways that align with that belief, even if it's negative. For instance, if you believe you're bad at math, you may avoid math-related tasks or feel anxiety when faced with them, leading to poor performance, which then reinforces the belief that you're bad at math. The same principle applies to other areas of life: relationships, career, health, and personal growth. The power of self-talk lies in its ability to influence your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. It takes in all the messages you feed it, whether they're positive or negative, and acts accordingly. This is why affirmations and positive self-talk can be so transformative. By consistently repeating empowering statements to yourself, you start to reprogram your subconscious mind to believe new, more supportive things about you and your abilities. Think about the words you say to yourself on a daily basis. Are they words of encouragement, or are they words of limitation? Do you tell yourself you're capable of achieving your goals, or do you doubt yourself before you even start? If your self-talk is filled with criticism, doubt, and negativity, it's no wonder that you might feel stuck or incapable of making progress. If you shift your internal dialogue to one of encouragement, self-compassion, and confidence, you will start to see new possibilities open up. The beauty of self-talk is that it's within your control. You can choose what you say to yourself. You can decide to stop listening to the voice of doubt and replace it with the voice of encouragement. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but rather about changing the narrative from one of defeat to one of possibility. When you begin to speak to yourself like someone who deserves success, like someone who is capable of overcoming obstacles, you start to act in ways that align with that belief. What you tell yourself on a daily basis ultimately shapes your identity. Your identity, in turn, dictates your actions, your habits, and your outcomes. If you want to change your life, you must start by changing your self-talk. When you tell yourself that you're not good enough or that success is out of reach, you create a reality where those things are true. But when you choose to tell yourself that you are worthy, capable, and deserving of success, you begin to see the world differently. You become the person who takes action, who pushes through fear, who embraces challenges as opportunities to grow. And in doing so, you create a reality that matches the story you've been telling yourself all along. Your self-talk is your inner compass, guiding you through life. It can either limit you or liberate you, depending on how you choose to use it. So, pay attention to the language you use with yourself. Oh, speak kindly, speak with confidence. Speak as though you are already the person you want to become, and watch how the world responds. Because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you experience life. And that, my friend, is the power of self-talk. Positive affirmations are not just feel-good statements or empty phrases. They are powerful tools that can shape the way we think, feel. The power of positive affirmations lies in their ability to rewire the mind, changing deeply ingrained beliefs, challenging negative thought patterns, and empowering individuals to take action toward their goals. Whether you realize it or not, your mind is constantly absorbing information and forming beliefs, many of which may be limiting or negative. Positive affirmations work to shift that mental narrative, aligning your thoughts with the future you want to create. At the core of positive affirmations is the understanding that the words we speak, both aloud and silently, have a direct influence on our reality. Every thought you think is a form of self-talk, and every word you say is a signal to your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is responsible for much of our behavior, but it operates without critical judgment, meaning it accepts whatever we tell it, whether positive or negative. This is why affirmations are so powerful. They allow you to consciously override negative or self-limiting beliefs by replacing them with positive, empowering statements. Over time, as you consistently repeat these affirmations, your subconscious mind starts to accept them as truth, which can lead to transformative changes in your life. The process begins with the simple yet profound act of saying things that you want to believe about yourself, even if you don't fully believe them yet. This is crucial because, in the beginning, positive affirmations might feel unnatural or even false. For example, if you've spent years telling yourself that you're not good enough or that success is for others, and not you, simply telling yourself, "I am successful," might feel like a lie. However, the power of affirmations doesn't lie in their immediate believability, but in their repetition. The more you repeat positive affirmations, the more your mind begins to accept them. This repetition begins to alter your thought patterns, and over time, your beliefs about yourself start to shift. What once felt foreign or impossible becomes your new reality. Positive affirmations work by targeting the subconscious mind's programming. Much like a computer that runs on pre-installed software, your mind runs on beliefs and thought patterns that you've accumulated over time. These beliefs often stem from early childhood experiences, societal conditioning, or repeated messages from others. Some of these beliefs are empowering, but many are limiting. They may convince you that you are incapable of achieving your goals or that you don't deserve happiness or success. Positive affirmations disrupt this programming, rewriting the mental script by repeating statements like, "I am worthy, I am capable," or "I am deserving of success." You begin to overwrite the old negative programming with new, empowering beliefs. One of the key aspects of positive affirmations is their ability to shift your focus. Human beings tend to focus on what is lacking or wrong in their lives. Our brains are wired to look for problems and potential threats. This negativity bias is a survival mechanism, but it can also keep us trapped in a cycle of fear and self-doubt. Positive affirmations help break this cycle by redirecting your focus to what is good, possible, and within your control. Instead of fixating on your weaknesses or perceived failures, affirmations help you focus on your strengths, your potential, and the opportunities available to you. This shift in focus can have a profound impact on how you perceive yourself and the world around you. Beyond shift in focus, positive affirmations also help build confidence. Confidence is not something you either have or don't have. It is a skill that can be cultivated through consistent practice and reinforcement. When you affirm positive statements about yourself, you are essentially training your brain to believe in your own abilities. This newfound confidence allows you to take bold actions, push through obstacles, and embrace challenges that you might have previously avoided due to fear or self-doubt. The more you affirm your worth and capabilities, the more you start to see evidence of your own strength, and that evidence further reinforces your confidence. Positive affirmations also create a sense of alignment between your thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you repeat an affirmation such as, "I am confident and capable," you begin to feel more confident and capable, and that feeling leads to actions that reflect that belief. This creates a positive feedback loop. As your actions align with your affirmations, you create experiences that validate your new beliefs. The more you act in accordance with your affirmations, the more your reality reflects those affirmations, creating a life that mirrors your inner transformation. Another critical aspect of affirmations is their ability to help you overcome fear and limiting beliefs. Fear is often the result of believing that we are not capable or worthy of success, and it can paralyze us from taking the steps necessary to achieve our goals. Affirmations can break this cycle of fear by challenging the negative beliefs that fuel it. For example, if you have a fear of public speaking, affirming statements like, "I am confident when I speak in front of others," or "I have valuable things to share with the world," can begin to reduce that fear. As you repeatedly affirm these statements, you begin to internalize them, replacing the fear of failure with a belief in your own abilities. It's important to note that while positive affirmations can be incredibly powerful, they are most effective when combined with action. Affirmations alone won't magically transform your life if you're not also willing to take concrete steps toward your goals. Affirmations prime your mind for success and help you develop a positive, empowering mindset. But it's the actions you take that ultimately bring your vision to life. When you use affirmations to create mental clarity and belief, you empower yourself to take consistent action, which leads to tangible results. In the end, the power of positive affirmations lies in their ability to reprogram the mind, shift focus, and build confidence. They are a tool for personal growth and transformation, helping you break free from limiting beliefs and step into the best version of yourself. By consciously choosing the thoughts you want to reinforce, you begin to shape the reality you want to experience. Over time, positive affirmations can lead to profound changes in your mindset, behavior, and ultimately, your life. The idea of striving for perfection is deeply ingrained in our culture. We are often told that success is reserved for those who do things flawlessly, who meet every expectation, and who never falter. From an early age, many of us are conditioned to believe that perfection is the standard by which we should measure ourselves and our efforts. However, the pursuit of perfection can be one of the most debilitating forces in our lives. It leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and a constant feeling of never being good enough. In contrast, consistency is the true key to success and personal growth, and it is far more valuable than perfection. Consistency is not about being perfect all the time. It's about showing up day after day, no matter what. It's about taking small intentional steps toward your goals, even when you don't feel like it or when the results aren't immediately visible. This is where many people go wrong. They set grand goals and expect themselves to execute them flawlessly from the start. But when they inevitably make mistakes or encounter setbacks, they feel discouraged and give up. They then look to others who seem to have mastered their craft without a hitch, believing that they're somehow failing. What they don't see is the consistency behind the success. Behind every successful person is a long journey of consistent effort, often filled with missteps, imperfections, and failures. The beauty of consistency is that it doesn't demand perfection. In fact, it thrives in the face of imperfection. It is the willingness to keep going, even when things don't look perfect or when you experience setbacks, that builds momentum. Think about any skill, craft, or endeavor, whether it's learning a new language, building a business, or getting in shape. The people who achieve the greatest success are the ones who keep showing up day after day, regardless of the obstacles. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect environment, or the perfect plan. They understand that progress doesn't happen in leaps and bounds, but through small, incremental actions taken consistently over time. When you adopt a mindset of consistency over perfection, you free yourself from the paralyzing pressure of doing everything perfectly. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your effort, your actions, and your willingness to improve. Consistency allows you to build habits that propel you forward, even when motivation wanes or when you face external challenges. For instance, instead of trying to go to the gym for hours each day and expecting perfect workouts, consistency means showing up 3 times a week and gradually increasing your effort and intensity. Progress is measured in the accumulation of small victories, not in one perfect moment. A major benefit of consistency is that it builds resilience. Perfectionism, on the other hand, often leads to frustration and self criticism when things go wrong. When your standard is perfection, any mistake or misstep feels like a failure. But with consistency, each mistake is simply part of the learning process. Every setback becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a reason to quit. You understand that the path to success is rarely linear. Instead, it's filled with bumps, detours, and moments of uncertainty. But if you're consistent, you keep moving forward, adjusting along the way, and learning from your experiences. Consistency also helps you overcome the temptation of comparison. It's easy to look at others and feel inadequate when they seem to be excelling in their pursuits. But remember that most of the time, you're only seeing the results, not the effort behind them. The process of getting to success is rarely visible to the outside world. The truth is, everyone has their own struggles, doubts, and failures. Focusing on your own consistent efforts and avoiding the trap of perfectionism, you shift your focus away from the external outcomes and onto the internal process. Instead of worrying about how you compare to others, you concentrate on what you can do to improve yourself, one step at a time. Another powerful aspect of consistency is that it creates compounding results. Small actions, repeated regularly, can lead to extraordinary outcomes over time. This principle applies in nearly every area of life. If you write 500 words a day, you'll have a book completed in a matter of months. If you save a small amount of money each month, you'll have a substantial savings account in the long run. If you work on improving your skills day in and day out, you'll see steady growth and improvement, even if it doesn't feel like much in the moment. This compounding effect is what makes consistency such a potent force. Over time, these small efforts add up, creating exponential growth and success that would never have been possible if you had waited for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Consistency also nurtures patience. In a world that demands instant gratification, it's easy to become discouraged when results aren't immediate. But by focusing on consistency rather than perfection, you learn to appreciate the slow, steady progress. Understand that mastery takes time and effort, and that success doesn't happen overnight. The process itself becomes the reward, not just the end result. This mindset shift is liberating because it allows you to enjoy the journey rather than constantly stressing about how long it will take to arrive at your destination. Ultimately, consistency teaches you to trust the process. Perfectionism makes you obsessed with the outcome, while consistency allows you to focus on the daily actions that lead to that outcome. It teaches you that success isn't about one perfect moment, but about the accumulation of small, consistent steps. The act of showing up, doing the work, and improving over time is where true growth happens. The key to achieving anything great in life is not in doing things perfectly, but in doing them consistently, no matter how small the steps or imperfect the process. This mindset fosters long term success, growth, and personal fulfillment far more than the fleeting pursuit of perfection ever could. The concept of a 3-day mental reset may sound simple, but its potential for transforming your mindset, behavior, and outlook on life is profound. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with distractions, pressures, and negative stimuli, our mental state often becomes cluttered and overwhelmed. We can become trapped in cycles of stress, anxiety, self doubt, and negative thinking. A 3-day reset is not about achieving instant perfection or sweeping change overnight. Rather, it's about shifting your perspective and creating a mental foundation that allows for clearer thinking, greater focus, and renewed energy. The idea behind a 3-day reset is that our minds, much like our bodies, need periods of rest and recalibration. We are constantly operating on autopilot, reacting to circumstances, external pressures, and old thought patterns without realizing how much they affect our mental and emotional well being. A 3-day reset provides a brief yet powerful opportunity to step away from the chaos and reset your mental environment. During this time, you can recalibrate your mindset, establish new intentions, and build a foundation for long term growth. The first step in a 3-day mental reset is to detach from the usual noise and distractions. For many of us, this means taking a break from social media, news, and any other sources of external input that may be contributing to mental clutter. In today's fast paced, always connected world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant flow of information. This barrage of data can leave us feeling distracted, unfocused, and mentally exhausted. By intentionally stepping away from these distractions for just 3 days, we give ourselves the space to breathe, to reflect, and to focus inward. This period of detachment isn't just about avoiding external distractions, it's also about disconnecting from the internal noise of negative self talk, limiting beliefs, and judgmental thoughts. Over time, many of us become conditioned to think in ways that limit our potential. We might tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we'll never succeed, or that we're not worthy of happiness. These negative thoughts can build up and become so ingrained that they feel like an automatic part of our mental landscape. The 3-day reset is an opportunity to challenge these beliefs and to break free from the mental patterns that have been holding us back. One of the most effective ways to reset your mind during this time is to focus on positive affirmations and self talk. By consciously replacing negative thoughts with positive, empowering statements, you begin to reprogram your mind. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, I'm not capable of handling this, replace it with, I have the strength and ability to overcome any challenge. This simple shift in language may seem small, but over the course of 3 days, it begins to have a profound impact on your mental state. It helps to build a more positive and confident mindset, setting the stage for future success. Another crucial aspect of the 3-day reset is giving yourself permission to pause and reflect. In the midst of our busy lives, we often don't take the time to slow down and check in with ourselves. The 3-day reset is an invitation to step back and assess where you are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. How are you feeling? What are your priorities? What are your goals? What are your goals? This period of reflection can help you identify any areas of your life where you may have been drifting or allowing negativity to take hold. It's a chance to refocus on what truly matters and to align your actions with your deeper values and desires. During these 3 days, it's also important to incorporate practices that promote mental clarity and relaxation. Meditation, journaling, and deep breathing exercises are excellent tools for quieting the mind and fostering a sense of inner peace. These practices allow you to tune out the external noise and focus on the present moment. They also help to reduce stress and anxiety, which can cloud your judgment and prevent you from thinking clearly. Even just a few minutes of meditation or journaling each day during the reset can help you gain a sense of perspective and mental clarity. A 3-day reset also provides an opportunity to reset your physical state. It's no secret that our physical well being is closely tied to our mental and emotional health. Poor diet, lack of exercise, and inadequate sleep can all contribute to mental fatigue and clouded thinking. During your reset, it's important to prioritize rest, nourishment, and movement. This might mean getting extra sleep, eating wholesome foods, or taking a walk in nature. These activities help restore your energy and provide a sense of vitality that can support your mental clarity and focus. One of the most powerful aspects of the 3-day mental reset is the sense of control it offers. In our daily lives, we often feel like we're constantly reacting to external circumstances, unable to make the changes we truly desire. But by dedicating just 3 days to reset your mind, you take back control. You're choosing to actively engage in the process of mental renewal. You're making a commitment to yourself to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. This act of taking control, however brief, can be incredibly empowering, and it helps to create a sense of ownership over your life and your mindset. While 3 days may seem like a short time to make lasting changes, the mental reset creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond the 3 days. It extends far beyond the 3 days. The clarity, perspective, and intention you cultivate during this time can carry over into your daily life. The key is consistency. After your reset, you can continue to implement the practices that work for you, whether it's journaling, affirmations, or setting aside time for reflection. The reset provides a jump start, but it's up to you to continue nurturing your mental and emotional well being in the long term. The 3 day mental reset is a powerful tool for anyone feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or in need of mental clarity. It offers a brief but impactful opportunity to step away from the noise, challenge limiting beliefs, and recalibrate your mindset. By focusing on positive self talk, engaging in reflective practices, and prioritizing your physical well being, you can create a strong foundation for growth and success. Even in just 3 days, you can experience a profound shift in your mental and emotional state, setting the stage for greater focus, clarity, and empowerment in the days ahead. Negative self talk is a pervasive force that can quietly shape the way we view ourselves, our abilities, and the world around us. It often starts as a whisper in the background, but over time, it can become the dominant voice in our heads, leading us to doubt our potential and question our worth. The truth is, negative self talk isn't just an internal nuisance, it's a significant barrier to success and happiness. If left unchecked, it can influence our decisions, our relationships, and even our health. However, challenging negative self talk is not only possible, it's essential to creating a life filled with self empowerment and personal growth. At its core, negative self talk is any internal dialogue that is critical, pessimistic, or self limiting. It often manifests as thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, I'm not worthy of happiness, or things will never change. These thoughts are insidious because they tend to reinforce feelings of inadequacy, fear and self doubt. Over time, they can become so automatic that we don't even recognize them for what they are, damaging distortions of reality. The problem with negative self talk is that it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. When we consistently tell ourselves we aren't capable or that we can't do something, we start to act in ways that align with those beliefs. We procrastinate, avoid challenges, and ultimately give up before we even give ourselves a real chance to succeed. The first step in challenging negative self talk is recognizing that it is not an accurate reflection of who you truly are. These thoughts are often a result of past experiences, fears, or societal conditioning, and they do not define your capabilities or your future. The moment you start to identify negative self talk as a distortion of reality, you can begin to create distance from it. It's important to remember that your thoughts are not facts, they are just thoughts. When you learn to separate yourself from the negative narrative in your mind, you take away its power. One effective way to challenge negative self talk is by questioning it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on fact, or is it just a fear or assumption? Often, when we break down these thoughts logically, we see how exaggerated or unrealistic they really are. For example, if you think, I'll never be successful, challenge that thought by asking, what evidence do I have that supports this belief? Have I succeeded in the past? What steps can I take to start moving forward? The process of questioning allows you to see how your negative thoughts are based on feelings or past experiences, not on the present reality. By doing this, you create space for a more balanced and rational perspective. Another powerful strategy for combating negative self talk is replacing it with positive affirmations. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, immediately counter it with a positive statement that challenges that belief. For instance, if you think, I'm terrible at this, replace it with, I'm capable of learning and improving with effort. Over time, this practice of replacing negativity with positivity can shift your mindset from one of self doubt to one of self empowerment. Positive affirmations may feel awkward at first, especially if you've spent years listening to negative self talk. But just as negative thoughts are learned and ingrained over time, positive affirmations can also be practiced and reinforced until they become second nature. It's also helpful to reframe the way you view challenges and mistakes. Negative self talk often arises when we encounter failure or setbacks, and it leads us to internalize these experiences as proof of our inadequacy. However, it's crucial to understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's a natural part of the learning process. Instead of thinking, I failed because I'm not good enough, try reframing it to, I failed because I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm learning and growing. This shift in perspective can transform your relationship with failure and turn it into an opportunity for growth rather than a source of shame. Additionally, practicing self-compassion can be a powerful antidote to negative self-talk. Often, we are our own harshest critics. We expect perfection from ourselves, and when we fall short, we criticize ourselves with ruthless judgment. But self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. When you make a mistake or face a setback, instead of berating yourself with negative thoughts, acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes and that it's okay to be imperfect. Remind yourself that you are doing the best you can and that your worth is not determined by your successes or failures. Self-compassion helps create a supportive internal environment where negative self-talk has less room to thrive. Another important aspect of challenging negative self-talk is becoming aware of the language you use, both with yourself and with others.
3.
Often, negative self-talk is infused with words like always, a never, or a can't. These absolutes make the situation seem hopeless or unchangeable. For example, thoughts like, I'll never be able to do this, or I always mess things up imply a lack of agency and reinforce feelings of helplessness. By eliminating these extreme words and focusing on more realistic language, such as, I'm struggling right now, but I'm working on it, or this is difficult, but I can improve with practice, you allow yourself the possibility of growth and progress. The language you use is incredibly powerful, and shifting from a defeatist mindset to one of possibility can make a significant difference in how you view yourself and your potential. It's important to note that challenging negative self talk is a process, not a one time fix. Just as negative thoughts don't disappear overnight, it takes time and consistent effort to change your internal dialogue. However, every time you challenge a negative thought and replace it with a positive one, you are rewiring your brain to think in more empowering ways. Over time, these small changes accumulate, leading to a more positive and confident mindset. In challenging negative self talk, you are taking back control of your mental and emotional landscape. You are no longer a passive recipient of the critical thoughts that once dominated your mind. Instead, you are an active participant in shaping your beliefs and your reality. By questioning your negative thoughts, replacing them with positive affirmations, reframing failures, practicing self compassion, and becoming aware of your language, you create a foundation for a healthier, more empowering inner dialogue. This shift is not just about changing the way you think, it's about changing the way you live. Negative self talk may always be a part of the human experience, but you don't have to let it dictate your future. You have the power to challenge it and rewrite your story. Confidence is one of those elusive qualities that many people seem to either have in abundance or struggle to find. Yet, the good news is that confidence isn't something you're simply born with. It's a skill that can be developed, nurtured, and boosted, often in a matter of moments. Sometimes all it takes is a shift in perspective, a few practical strategies, and the willingness to step into your own power. An instant confidence boost doesn't require a complete personality overhaul or years of self help. It's about tapping into the tools and techniques that allow you to quickly elevate your mindset, boost your self esteem, and stand a little taller, both literally and figuratively. One of the simplest ways to boost your confidence instantly is by altering your body language. The way you carry yourself speaks volumes, not only to others, but to your own subconscious mind. Have you ever noticed that when you feel confident, your posture naturally improves, your shoulders pull back, your chin lifts, and you stand taller? The good news is that this effect works in reverse too. Even if you're not feeling particularly confident, making a conscious effort to stand tall, open up your chest, and maintain a grounded, upright posture can trick your mind into feeling more confident. It's called a power posing. And while it may seem simple, research has shown that adopting an expansive, confident posture can actually improve your internal sense of confidence. When you adopt strong body language, your body sends signals to your brain that reinforce your sense of self assurance. This instant shift can make you feel more capable and ready to take on whatever challenges lie ahead. Another way to boost your confidence quickly is by focusing on your strengths. Too often, we focus on what we lack or where we fall short. We criticize ourselves for not being perfect or for not measuring up to some ideal standard. But this mindset only perpetuates insecurity. Instead, take a moment to acknowledge your strengths, what you're good at, the unique qualities you bring to the table, and past successes you've achieved. Reflect on times when you've overcome challenges, solved problems, or exceeded expectations. Remind yourself that you've done hard things before, and you are more than capable of doing them again. This process of shifting your focus from your perceived weaknesses to your actual strengths can create an immediate sense of empowerment. You may not be perfect, but you are certainly capable, resourceful, and worthy of confidence. Visualization is another powerful tool for an instant confidence boost. Visualization involves mentally rehearsing success before it happens. The mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined, which is why visualization is so effective. When you visualize yourself succeeding in a particular situation, whether it's giving a speech, acing a presentation, or having a tough conversation, your brain builds neural pathways that prepare you for success. By imagining the experience in vivid detail, you begin to feel more confident in your ability to handle it. Even though the event hasn't happened yet, your mind believes that it will. This preemptive success experience leads to a greater sense of confidence when the actual moment arrives. The more you practice visualization, the more naturally confident you'll become in real life situations because you've already rehearsed the feeling of success in your mind. Sometimes, the quickest way to boost confidence is to simply take action. Confidence is often the result of doing, not just thinking. The more you engage in action, the more momentum you build, and the more you reinforce the belief that you can handle challenges. Even small actions can lead to significant confidence boosts. If you're feeling nervous about a big task, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Each small win will provide you with a sense of accomplishment, and that accumulation of victories will gradually increase your self confidence. Whether it's sending that email you've been putting off, making that difficult phone call, or tackling a task you've been avoiding, the act of doing something, even if it's imperfect, builds confidence in your ability to handle the situation. An often overlooked but incredibly effective confidence booster is gratitude. When you feel insecure or unsure of yourself, it's easy to focus on what you don't have or what you haven't yet accomplished. However, this focus on lack only feeds negative thoughts and undermines confidence. Shifting your attention to what you are grateful for, however, can immediately change your mindset. Take a moment to reflect on all the things that are going well in your life, no matter how small. Whether it's the support of a loved one, the skills you've developed, or the fact that you woke up this morning with the opportunity to try again, gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you consciously recognize and appreciate your blessings, you create a positive mental state that directly impacts your confidence. Sometimes all it takes to feel instantly more confident is to change your internal narrative. The stories we tell ourselves play a huge role in shaping our confidence. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough or that you can't succeed, you'll internalize these messages and begin to act in accordance with them. But when you consciously choose to reframe your internal dialogue, you empower yourself. Instead of thinking, I'm not ready for this, reframe it to, I am capable of handling this and I am learning as I go. Positive self talk is a simple but profound way to shift your mindset. By speaking to yourself as you would speak to a friend, encouraging, supportive, and compassionate, you boost your confidence and remind yourself of your own potential. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people is another effective way to feel more confident. When you're in the presence of individuals who believe in you, your own belief in yourself is naturally elevated. Positive energy is contagious, and being around people who lift you up can help quiet the negative self talk that often holds you back. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a family member, engaging with people who affirm your worth and capabilities can quickly elevate your self esteem. They remind you of your strengths, reflect your potential, and offer encouragement when you need it most. Lastly, taking care of your physical well being can have a direct impact on your confidence. When you feel good physically, you're more likely to feel good mentally and emotionally. Exercise, healthy eating, and getting enough sleep all contribute to a sense of well being that boosts confidence. When you take care of your body, you send a powerful message to your subconscious that you value yourself. This in turn fosters greater self assurance and inner strength. Confidence doesn't have to be something that takes years to develop. By utilizing strategies like power posing, focusing on strengths, visualizing success, taking action, practicing gratitude, reframing your inner narrative, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and prioritizing your physical health, you can boost your confidence instantly. Confidence isn't about being flawless or never doubting yourself. It's about learning to tap into your own power and believe in your ability to face challenges head on, no matter what.